Before us, two challengers stand. Zokuru, bringing the Heat custom avatar. The man, the myth, the one who made a viable laxless team. Vileman, facing him as the opponent, who got kind of massacred by Discord servers all around GSC for his week 1 game. This should be a good one. Zapdos and Fori. Fori lead, especially with Protect, is screaming stall. Also, it's Zokuru. His mere presence in the game screams stall. Vileman is a more offensively tending player, and Zapdos, of course, indicates that, but we have seen Zapdos stall. Toxic Fori is what this certainly will be. Protect will always have Toxic with it. Sazin takes Thunder, gets the para. Full para, that's pretty big. The Fori was most likely establishing spikes there. Goes out to Blissey, and yeah, this is Zokuru stuff. Just hidden powers. Vileman knowing that Fori never stays in there. Maybe he'll catch like a Golem or something. Heal Bells immediately. And goes to Skarmory on the Thunderbolt here. So that may look like a very weird play for Zokuru, right? Why do you just switch out? Well, if Gengar goes boom, Zapdos kind of just goes ham on these teams. Blissey teams are traditionally very do-nothing, spikes, like hardcore stall. And surgical booms, say removing said Blissey perhaps, would allow Zapdos to instantly start taking over the game because the only remaining check to it would be the Zokuru's Lax. Because of course, we assume this man has Lax. Then, Vileman is leading with Thunderbolt here. So, we understand Zokuru going to Skarmory because in case of boom. But, Vileman goes for a Thunderbolt because it does more damage. And also, the typical move of Gengar in, like, Gengar Blissey scenario, if you Ice Punch, you want that freeze chance on whatever comes in. So Zokuru got really punished for the over-prediction here. Vileman's gonna double, meets Umbreon and Cloy. This Umbreon is likely going to be the rest talker. We see Starmie. Just on spikes, we see Toxic on the Mii. And Rapid Spin. Should be Toxic, there we go. Psychic does a ton. Lays down spikes. Now, it's very, very hard to try and block Rapid Spin here. So, yeah, it's safe to go for it. Jolteon comes in. This is interesting. We can always presume Lax and, probably, maybe it's a Golem here. I don't think this team necessitates a Licks here, so it could be a number of things. Jolteon on double electric is interesting. I think it's pretty neat against stall, like really neat, because it's like a Raikou that can boost its special attack, but doesn't sleep talk. Also indicates that Lax may be sleep talk, but Vileman also could be very much prepping for Zokuru's tendencies. Often you'll see players who are as patterned as Zokuru get counter teamed. Where players will forgo at least somewhat safety in other matchups. Like, for example, against a player that never brings Jinx, you bring Zapdos as your sole Sleep Talker because Zapdos Sleep Talks against everything well except for Jinx. Or this Jolteon could be Baton Pass Growth. That is another possibility. I like that set a lot into stall as well. Probably more than the rest set. But it can often flounder against teams that can scare out the Jolteon, that can just hit it, that don't have to be afraid of the electric moves, and that their switch-ins to Jolteon actually deal damage to Jolteon. Unlike this Blissey. So this Jolteon looks like it has an amazing matchup. We're likely seeing a switch to Snorlax from Zokuru's end. Blissey stall teams do not all... Okay, I bet he's running his Laxless team. I wish I had the Pokepaste on me. So, if it's the Laxless team, this Umbreon is going to be Mean Look Charm Rest. And I don't remember what the last is. I think it's maybe a Dragonite. Which is awful if this Jolteon has Hidden Power Ice. Yep, definitely going to have Growth. Okay, it is Growth Pass. Just goes for the pass immediately. Thunder? Well, that's weird, but I guess it works. Vileman could have stayed in there longer. Because Blissey doesn't really threaten Jolteon, and Jolteon kind of scares everything out to get more boost to Zapdos. But yeah, he's just gonna fish for Para on this. It's Light Screen Blissey, though. So take what I said about this Jolteon having a good matchup, and then just forget about it. Burn it. Light it on fire. But Lax is in a pretty good spot. Like, look at the Skarm's HP. Barely lives the next double edge. It's forced to rest. If it's a Fire Lax, that's pretty good for him. But no, it's not going to be. So he's going to double the Gengar. Gengar putting on pressure again. If he can find a way to blow up that Blissey, then just the special attackers go absolutely insane. But until then, that Light Screen Blissey is going to be incredibly not deadly, but a massive roadblock. Also, Umbreon, presuming this is not the Laxless Mean Look Umbreon, could have Pursuit, which makes it an excellent switch into Gengar, because the Snorlax appears to be completely walled by the Skarmory unless he's bluffing. That's what I was talking about earlier, where he can try and go for more boosts. But the second time, Thunder parrying, yeah, it's safe for him to continue to boost because he hasn't shown anything that can really scare out the Jolteon. And I was right. I called it. It is the Laxless team, which kind of sucks because it's going to haze the Jolteon here. And it could have been Hidden Power Ice right there. That's some really bad full paras from Vileman. He's going to try and growth them now. He can just keep forcing these growths and growths. Or he can just go to the Gengar. Now he's going to really scare the Blissey. Does he just Ice Punch here? He's got Dynamic Punch, which is a great middle ground, presuming it hits. Because Blissey or Umbreon is what's coming in. That's really scaring that Blissey. I think you just go for it again. Nope. Thunderbolt. Gengar will live the Umbreon Pursuit. Yeah, it takes very little from it, so he just needs to hit its Dynamic Punches, and it's not. It is Mean Looks now. This Umbreon wants this Gengar gone. That's the third Dynamic Punch miss. It's Charming, so you can't really do that anymore. We need some Freeze Fishing here, probably. Yep. I don't like the second Charm as much. I think that should have been a Pursuit, but it's resting. That's fine, because I guess you could try and rest stall it. But one badly timed crit, and this Gengar has a lot of attacking PP. You could be in trouble. Crit range right here. Doesn't get it. Or even he could go for a Dynamic Punch Confusion proc. Switches out, knowing that it's a little dangerous to be here. But now the Blissey is safe because the Gengar has been neutralized, per se. This Blissey is almost certainly not carrying Ice Beam. Yep. So this Golem is completely free into it. Just gonna EQ catch it with the Scar. It's definitely gonna spin here. Sleep Talk Skarmory. Which means he likely has dropped Whirlwind. Goes Jolteon on Starmie. Starmie came in predicting a Cloyster double. It's Thunderbolt Jolteon. I don't disagree with that. These paras on Vileman kind of really suck. Blissey just Heal Bells him off. Let's get a Baton Pass out. Go to Cloyster. Just going to get some lefties. It's basically a teleport. Yeah, he knows the Cloyster's not staying in, so he goes Fori. But Fori doesn't always like staying in here. Takes some damage. But Light Screen really mitigates it. Growth into Starmie. Starmie just goes for Surf, knowing it lives. And this Jolteon does not have a good way to heal unless it's Rest Baton Pass. Nope, just BPs into Gengar. Vileman is really, really trying to beat down this Umbreon. Misses another Dynamic Punch. But at least the Blissey misses Thunder. A Thunder para there could have been disastrous. Hit finally. That's 2 Dynamic Punches out of 6. But Blissey misses another Thunder. Thunder through Confusion's really rough. T-Bolts into the Umbreon. We see an Ice Punch here. Yes, we do. No Freeze. But he's opening himself up to another Ice Punch or a Thunderbolt crit. Rests off, but he hasn't mean looked, so he can go to Golem safely. And he gets it done on the Blissey. So that's a free Rapid Spin. Golem's Boom is unlikely to be a valuable tool for Vileman in this game. Just on the pure virtue that there's a Skarmory on the other side. But yeah, this is some nasty PP stall from Zokuru. I'm going to switch this up to fast, because he's probably going to BP out. Oh, that's brutal. But Hidden Power Ice here could be really big. But he just goes for growth, knowing that he outgrowths Haze. And with Para in addition, you can keep going, but it goes for Reflect. It's T-Bolt, so it's not Hidden Power Ice. That's really brutal. But he is slamming down, not slamming, poking down this Dragonite. Does he go for the growth here? Yes, he does. Growth to Gengar could be pretty big. Maybe he goes for a second one. This is pretty big. But it rolls Sleep Talk and the Haze. And so he doesn't go to Gengar, but he goes to Cloy. Nails a nice Toxic on the Mii instead of going for Spikes. Oh, but he gets caught by a Psychic and just spikes up. This is a pretty hard spot for Vileman now. Because if he spins now, it's going to be hard to get this Cloyster in a good opportunity to spike up later. That is acceptable. But if he could just Psychic here, and if you switch Gengar into that Psychic, that's rough, because that Gengar is your tool to winning. And he gets called out for it. Now, this low of a Gengar. Oh! But Zokuru isn't able to predict that the Gengar would switch. I think the Gengar has to switch there no matter what. Because this Gengar's Boom is probably the best way for Vileman to win this game. Presuming it has Boom. If he's got Destiny Bond, oh, he's in trouble. Zokuru might just win off of the basis of being invincible. All of this is an uphill battle for Vileman into the Zokuru Laxless stall. But he Psychics again. Gengar switches. Snorlax comes in. This Starmie's gotta switch. Doubles to Jolteon. Gets it on the Blissey. Gets the growth up. Maybe we see a Thunder here? No, we don't. A Thunder could have tried to catch the... Oh, wait, sorry, I was an idiot. Jolteon's paralyzed, yada, yada, yada. So, we would never see a Thunder there. Light Screen is a great thing to do, because that slow U-turn, basically, is what it is. That slow like the teleport is what this paralyzed baton pass is doing. Zapdos just feebly smacking into Blissey, waiting for Light Screen to run out, but it gets Thunder para'd. Yep, Zapdos is gonna rest. Now you click the easy move, the Sleep Talk, and Thunder misses. This is a game for Thunder misses. He's just gonna Hidden Power because he doesn't want to really burn his Thunder power points. Thunder hits everything for at least neutral on this team. He wants to nail his Thunders when Light Screen is down, so he can do that massive chunk. And now he's going for pushing for Para. If he can make this Blissey waste all of its heal bells, then once he paras it, he's in a much better position. Running a little low on Hidden Powers, and gets Gengar in on a turn when he was sure that Blissey would waste a like a useless PP. Something that isn't Thunder. Doubles because Zokuru cannot let that Blissey get boomed, and also Umbreon is a great response to the Gengar. If he gets it in on the Gengar, he can pursue it up to the finish. Mean Look Pursuit is it's like Crunch Pursuit, is what it really is. It's the same 50-50 once you're in that scenario, except Pursuit is probably just better because 2 Pursuits kills the Gar and it's forced to boom on you. So, Jolteon. once more. Gets in a scenario where it can growth. Forces the Blissey in. Blissey's gonna light screen. No, it's gonna go to Dragonite. A baton pass to Zapdos there could have been a little tiny bit scary for Zokuru, because he would be forced to switch out of Dragonite into Blissey. Blissey could get Thunder Parrot if Dialman doesn't HP Ice. But overall, this isn't a horrible play, because this Jolteon doesn't have Hidden Power Ice. It's got Hidden Power Water, which most Jolteon do. Just passes up a Reflect, because why not? Goes to Dragonite again. Just gonna keep hazing this Jolteon. 17 T-Bolts. Growths up. Jolteon has more growths than this Dragonite has hazes. And it's also slowly beating that Dragonite to where it has to rest. Gets the right turn to growth. Dragonite doesn't roll Sleep Talk this time. This time he's going to stay in and do a chunk with T-Bolt. Doesn't get the right Sleep Talk again. This Dragonite might be in trouble. He's going to try and Sleep Talk through this Jolteon, but he goes for another growth. And we don't see a pass, so this Blissey is going to be able to get the light screen, but this lets him growth even more. Dragonite comes in, hoping for the Sleep Talk haze, and he gets it! He would have baton passed to Zapdos and maybe been in a pretty powerful position. Very commanding position to muscle through that Blissey with Zapdos. But this Dragonite, yet again, rolls the Sleep Talk haze. So he takes it as an opportunity to get his Cloyster in for lefties. Goes to Lax. It would be crazy if he's bluffing that he's not Fire Lax. But I genuinely don't think this Lax is going to do much in this game. Like, Dragonite, Umbreon, Skarmory. Okay, gets Gengar in. Ice Punch, please. Freeze, maybe. He's had plenty of opportunities to get one earlier. He's got a Dynamic Punch to Blissey. Does 41. If Blissey hits itself in confusion. No, just misses Thunder. He has one Dynamic Punch left. He Ice Punches the Umbreon. Gets a crit. Gengar's out of range for Pursuit. T-Bolt's going to start doing a lot. Like 34? 38? That might barely be a 3 KO. Sacks the 4E. Concedes that he will not have spikes. Starmie comes in, threatening to kill the Gengar. But he can just... Yeah, he just spins. That's the right play, because he cannot risk the Gengar. He's going to try and recover on the Lax, but the double-edged crit. This is why you go Skarmory there. Yeah, Zokuru just concedes. I think he still had a chance, but Vileman, if he can somehow softball up the Blissey, Zokuru is in a good spot, but again, the Gengar has been so patient with its boom. Even the Gengar at plus a something or other is just going to be able to do it. Vileman able to repeatedly over and over and over set up the scenario where Jolteon gets free growths, muscle through the Dragonite, and pass to the Gar or the Zapdos. This was a special offense team that beat the Stall Lord running Light Screen Blissey. I gotta give it up for Vileman on this one. He specifically requested that I record this video. And I was like, well, it's Zokuru. Please don't be 600, please don't be another 377 turn 1. I will record it for you, man. But you did it. You did it. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Halloween. Nice game, Vileman.